Hey, Lee Sorensen, good to see you, man. I brought up that that stuff on Koinonia House yesterday in the update. So thanks for giving me that information. I did study with the Chuck Missler stuff for several years when he was alive back in I don't know, 10 years ago or something when I was in Washington, and I loved everything. That guy is super genius level with the scriptures, but I couldn't wrap my head around the simulated matrix thing he was talking about, and he just really got out there on that one. But I don't doubt it, because Chuck Missler was an amazing patriot, amazing Christian. I don't know if that jury was fair, man. But yeah, they threw out the cases because there was no, on Riley Williams' thing, they threw out 2 of the charges because there was no evidence presented. Because the way I understood it from the documents that I read. So the DOJ kind of dropped the ball. They were charging her with so much stuff that they forgot to put evidence in for the fact that if she took the laptop or not. I did see one picture that had Nancy Pelosi's laptop on the desk and 2 hands in there. But it didn't look like the jacket she was wearing. There was a girl's hand and a man's hand in the picture. I don't know. Hey, Mags. All right, love it. Yeah, I liked your show last night, man, the van talk. I almost did a van talk today, but I wasn't getting good Wi-Fi out there, so I'm getting Wi-Fi here. John Mellis, we're back on the John Mellis thing. Broke up with Kelly. Kelly was an amazing patriot. Best of everything for both going again. And here's the heart of our J6ers right here. For the last 2 Christmases that they've been in jail, they have collected money for a fund to help get Christmas presents for other inmates, not even just J6ers, but other inmates in the DC gulag. And then the conversation got funny and outrageous and stuff, where John's a mountain man, you know, he's out there. Hi, Cleo. He's out there, he likes skiing and stuff like that. He says he likes to do Yoda, you know. And, I mean, I can't hold it against people. I can't. And then he's looking for a wild woman. And it was just funny how, you know, what kind of wild woman are you looking for, John? And then, lo and behold, who should show up? Patricia, the commissioner. Oh, and we're like, oh no, not that kind of wild. No, John, no. I just was laughing out loud when all this was going on at the vigil. But the one protester showed up who does the real good demon screeches, and you know, she's practices at home. The new dating site. Yeah, we determined that Thursday night is now date night on the vigil for the J6ers and stuff. It was just a moment of hilarity there that, man, it just felt good to laugh for a while. And I think it left John in good spirits by the end of the phone call, man. He was sounding down when it first started, but man, Mickey was a great conversation with him. It was the Donald Trump fraud case was another thing that they had to fill the news cycle with on the day that Joe Biden got caught getting a $250,000 transfer back to his house. But let's finish up the J6 stuff. And then there was a gal that prayed last night, Angel, and I could not catch who that was. And they all came together for a second prayer at the vigil last night. It was great. She prayed a great prayer. She sounds like a great patriot, but it's somebody I haven't met before. So if anybody knows who that was, then maybe you can clue me in. I asked in the chat, but nobody knew who that was apparently. Mickey and Nicola obviously knew who she was. So I'm wondering if it's a relative or something of one of the J6ers that was there that I just haven't met yet. And then Jeff Sable called in for the national anthem, just like clockwork. Man, God bless these guys for standing and singing the national anthem every night. I mean, how can they not feel that their country is coming down on them? But they know that this isn't the country, man. These are tyrants. These are demons that in office here that are weaponizing our justice system against patriots. And God bless them. From day one, they've been singing the national anthem. And Jake Lang got beaten up by the prison staff because he wouldn't stop singing the national anthem. Not at 9 o'clock one night, but it was another thing, man, where they were making him go into another room and they started singing and they told him all to shut up, which Lang didn't shut up, and they beat him up for it, man. So God bless these patriots, man. The hand of God is over them, and we can see that. It's obvious. It's only a matter of time till everybody starts to see this. All right, I'm gonna put this up, Lee. So Chuck Missler was a great Christian. He died about, I don't know, 8 years ago or so. And he started a ministry called Koinonia House Ministries. He has a place in New Zealand and a place here in America. They have excellent Bible studies. I know we're shopping around for a good Bible study here, Lee, by the way. Silly hooked me up on one that I'm going to get started on though here. I'll tell you about that here in a second. So there's all kinds of sources if you want to get started in a Bible study, and I highly recommend that. We got to keep touch on with our God, and being in a Bible study is a good way to do that. It's a daily thing, and you just stay current on everything. And the cool thing about Bible studies is that when you're in a Bible study, you'll have a verse or whatnot, a topic that you're talking about, and something will happen that day directly directly associated with that Bible verse that you just read. And that's how I think it works. That's how I think God makes it work. He puts things on our mind, and then lets things happen to us in our lives, and then lets us put 2 and 2 together. So I think that's a cool thing. It definitely works that way from everything that I've seen. All right, and then the news about Christopher Worrell. That wasn't in the vigil last night. That was something I found this morning on the news. Okay, and then all right, so now we're into the news. So in the news this morning, it became apparent more bad news for Joe Biden was that during his vice presidency, he violated the Foreign Agent Registration Act by not registering as a foreign agent and taking money and negotiating with foreign countries. Now, I don't know, he was the vice president and Obama sent him over there, so I don't get how this all works, but apparently it's a thing. And so they had to come up with some other news cycle thing to get that out of the news, and I think this flooding in New York is what they came up with today to cover for the Joe Biden nightmare that's going on. Every day something's coming out. So how does it just rain a little bit and then all of a sudden New York is flooding? They got pictures on the television of, you know, waterfalls going down stairways and stuff. Amen, now is joy. Verse by verse, chapter by chapter, Yahweh's letter to his children. You bet, you bet. All right, Lee Sorensen, I'm thinking a prison ministry for Michigan would be available to our group here. That's a great idea, man. We have to, you know, get active so these problems don't happen again. And coming up with a community prison watch is a good idea.
Really? You got
David's driving in a flood right now.
Thanks God.
Oh my goodness. All right, I've been keeping my eye on Robert Kennedy Jr. too. All right, so they stonewalled him in the Democrat Party. He's been getting censored more than Trump is, actually. When you look at the history of how they started censoring Trump, when they took him off of Twitter while he was the president, and the whole deal there. Robert Kennedy Jr. started getting censored quicker than Donald Trump got censored when they started doing it to him. So it isn't just a Republican-Democrat thing. It's a uniparty against us patriots thing. And Kennedy Jr. is up on Fauci, the fraud that he is, the fraud that the American Medical Association is, the fraud that the CDC and the FDA is. It's sham after sham after sham. When the federal, the FDA wants to certify a new drug, they go to the people who invented the drug to do the testing for the drug. And then the people who do that, the pharmaceutical companies, they can make up whatever information they want and give it to the FDA, and they don't even check it. They allow the people who invented them to check it. Yeah, they're scared of RFK Jr. And for a long time, I was entertaining the thought that if Trump picked RFK Jr. for a vice president, it would be a pretty cool way to collapse both parties at the same time, which is what needs to be done, because both parties are working in conjunction with each other. And I think that's pretty obvious by this impeachment inquiry going on in Congress right now. Impeachment. How do the Democrats going to protect Joe Biden? It's not with facts. It's with creating a circus environment inside that. Oh, this will be good here, silly. Laura Logan releasing part 3 of her highly anticipated series, The Rest of the Story, about J6. And, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I mean, she was down in Freedom Corner that 1 or 2 nights and taking notes. Like, I've never seen anybody take notes, man. She just was writing constantly while talking to the prisoners over the phone there. So no doubt she's got some great information. There are, I think there's dozens of J6 documentaries out there now. And the only reason the general American public is included into this is because they're oblivious. They're oblivious. They're hitting the snooze alarm. They don't even want to look this stuff up. They just want it to go away. But in the meantime, we're not gonna trash all these patriots, and it's not going away until we see justice. Till we see justice for the 4 dead patriots that were murdered by the police on January 6th. Till we see justice for Brian Sicknick and the medical negligence that his own comrades showed him by not giving him aid while he was having a stroke, after they were warned he was having a stroke by patriots. Yeah, I did see that David short today. So Freedom Express Media is our friend David, and he is who we're talking about here, in case you're not aware of that. Useful idiots will regurgitate the narrative. All right, so here's where I am, Mags. Am I just regurgitating information too? You know, I read a New York Post article about Christopher Worrell. I don't know if they're telling the truth or not. We just got to know. The only way you know you're getting valid information is if there's a live streamer there showing you, and you can see it with your own eyes. Oprah may go for Feinstein seat. So did we get to that? Senator Dianne Feinstein died overnight. She was a San Francisco representative, senator for the state of California.
She should have died.
And look at the wonderful work she has done for the big cities of California during her, 60 years in office?
She is so evil.
I think she was 90 years old. Not long ago, they were having a vote, and an aide had to come, and she didn't know it was time to vote, so she started going into a speech, and an aide came and whispered in her ear and said, "Just vote yay." I mean, it's the incompetence of these people that they keep in office. We want term limits. The Democrats want term limits. The Republicans want term limits. Or so they say. We, the people, want term limits. Should we have term limits yet? No. Because that's something that we want. It's not something that they want because they keep themselves in power that way. Mitch McConnell going blank behind the microphone twice now in the last 2 months, man. She was 90, yeah. There was a Pelosi aide hired for Feinstein. It's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. So I think it's up to the governor, I think, is what happens. He'll appoint a senator until an election can be had. And I don't know if she was up. Senators are a 6-year term. So it's a big deal. Whoever gets that seat, it's a big deal. They're going to be in there for a while. I don't know when Feinstein's term was up for, when she herself was up for election, but re-election. I don't know. It's a 6-year term that senators, and that's why being a senator is a powerful position. And that's why most Pennsylvanians got to wonder why Fetterman is our senator. We're stuck with that guy for 6 years, PA. Yeah, man. But, you know, it just seems like they use a New York Times article. You get real information. And now that Obama made propaganda legal in America, they can say anything they want, man. Already got a job. You can't take her. Didn't the American people vote for Kamala? If you do that, you're taking the candidate away from the American people. I mean, what? Let's just watch what they do. There's no doubt it's going to be a shit show. No doubt.
They drive so fast. I got a ticket. I think it's March this year.
Here, America.
On this road.
They want something, they get it right away. They want to change the dress code, they can do it overnight.
There
if they want to reevaluate the dress code, so it takes 4 or 5 days out of the whole workload then. They can do that. If they want to take a 4-day weekend, they can do that. That's what McCarthy just did last weekend. Just declared a 4-day weekend. Get to work, Congress. But no, don't. We're going to take care of this because we see what you are, Congress. We see what's going on.
Yeah, this is.
So the impeachment hearing was a circus, man. Every Democrat got up there and was like, Trump. And this is a Joe Biden impeachment hearing. How do they keep bringing that stuff up? How do they not get overruled? Like, shut up. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. And then the Republicans just sitting back and letting it all happen with, like, who can name one thing that the Republicans, one point they made yesterday? They didn't make any points, okay? Because it's a uniparty. They don't want to make any points. They want to look like they're trying to impeach Joe Biden. But they have no, they are not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And it was the same thing with the impeachment of Trump, too. They knew it wasn't going to happen. They did it anyways to waste a bunch of time. So they didn't have to do stuff that we want them to do. Crying out.
Jericho is
how long do we put up with this? We have a duty
this channel right now.
This bogus government off of us. We got the video that I saw 6 or 7 years ago of them going, well, son of a bitch, they fired the prosecutor when he held $1 billion of U.S. aid hostage until they fired that prosecutor. Then he gets on TV and boasts about it. That's been out there for a long time. And how long, America? How long? All they do in that impeachment hearing is ridicule and repetition. You tell a lie over and over and over, and pretty soon it becomes the truth. Republicans going to subpoena Joe and Hunter. Well, that might have been a good idea to do that before, so as you're ready
Yeah,
for this.
I try my new
Apparently
phone.
they haven't done that yet. And I don't know, he's going to claim executive
got a
privilege
new
or some
phone
shit.
and
That's
then use
gonna be another 2 weeks delay.
another carrier.
63% of Americans think
Right,
Biden broke the law already. Okay,
Tested.
that's pretty low compared to
Good or
the
not.
opinion rate
So
of
I
the
probably
DC
stop
jury
here.
pool on the guiltiness of
See you.
J6ers. I think that's up near 76, 78%. But 63% of all Americans, and I'm just regurgitating some poll.
What now? DC gulag. Thank you.